of alignment. And because you make $450,000 a day, you can afford the attorneys and to make a settlement, and it wouldn't even be hard for you to do.
Yeah.
And that to me is like bizarro land. Hey, are you here, James?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure am. Yeah.
Yeah, good. So I took some notes because I just thought it was so, the music, you singing the music, but you put that beautiful AI song on, and I loved it. I loved the vibe of that song. So, and the whole kind of idea of like this tesseract, I was thinking about, the blue box that, the TARDIS or the tesseract. So we're in this like creation of our own making in the Matrix with the cat in the box, like, and that, these engagers engaging in the creatrix of the Matrix, and I was like, wow. And one of the things I thought was really funny, you're beset by cats. I just thought that.
Did you get that? I'm glad someone got
did.
that.
I just was like hysterically laughing on that one. And then the thalamus, the trip, like it's like the salt, and that memories are embedded in the salt. And then Lot's wife, now, like, don't look back. That was leaving Sodom and Gomorrah, and like she didn't want to leave, like that was what she knew. And then she looked back and she would turn to a pillar of salt, which is just a pillar of memory, right? So
Yeah.
I thought that was divine. That was, and where you put your focus is the divine light. The witness is God. I loved that. And I loved your con on I'm a Quaker from another maker.
Well, thank you. It was a fun show. Felt really good today.
That was really good. So it was a really, really good show. It was very, I thought it was eloquent, James, the way that you're pollinating the beautiful audience, to pollinate, to make, like, what is it to be a creator, and why, we can create in all mediums. We can create digitally and digital. What's the difference between AI music and a person that's spinning at a rave?
Right.
What's the difference? There's no difference.
Yeah.
And even when music went, like Dylan went electric, then he was criticized, right? So then when they were synthesized in the 70s and the disco, that was like criticized, So all of this criticism of what people don't want to change, it's like the culture of cheese. And it's like, we have to do the cheese in a certain way. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Yeah. I don't think we do. But the fact that you kept singing and talking about it, really, it made me laugh. It was like such a beautiful pollination today. So, yeah.
Well, thank you. We are live now, finally. Yeah. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. Welcome, everybody.
Yeah. And sorry, there's a little bit of technical glitch. But yeah, today's show was a lot of fun. Interesting thing to think about all this stuff. The musician thing, Lori, takes me back to the idea that I think for anyone... So one of the things about being a musician is it's kind of like photography. Hear me out. It has an entry point that anyone can access. I'm just talking about the entry point. Like you can say, I'm going to go into photography. And because it has such an easy access point, I think you end up with an industry that comes with a lot of self-generated arrogance because it feels like it has to be harder. That there's a flavor to things that suggest you have to be, has to really hurt, man. Like whatever it is you do, if it's going to be good, it's going to be artistic. It has to really hurt. It has to really, you have to get up at 3 to catch the, sure, I know you know about magic light, but does anyone know about pre-Luciferian magic light? That's when you get up at 4 a.m. to take a picture before the sun comes up, because then you capture the thing and if you don't do that, and then you don't freeze your film before you shoot. You don't keep your film in the freezer before you shoot. What kind of fucking photographer are you? And so you end up with this, and then you're sitting down and you want to play a song and you just want to use GCD, the three most major chords in the world, because it happens to be a song that's going to be best expressed in the key of G with your register. You get it.
Well, James, I was thinking about that when film it was film, and then it went digital, and then the film people were talking how crap digital was. Remember?
Yeah. Oh, digital
Yeah.
sucks. Are you kidding?
Yep. Yep.
You can't see the grain. Where's the
Yeah.
grain? If it's not grain, it's shit. Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And this is the thing about where I've had to catch myself too, where it's like, why do you want it to be hard? Why do you want to make sure? Because if so, why do we have the ukulele? It's why it's such a perfect example. It's such a
Yeah.
cutting instrument. It's able to cut through all that bullshit.
And it's really a very masterful instrument, even though it only has 4 strings. If you ever heard,
Yeah, I think that's why, Lori. I think that's
Japanese-
exactly why. It's actually the simplicity of it that allows that commands the person to be able to put forward something beautiful through it, and it doesn't get to hide in. Oh, it's the sitar, so no one's going to fucking know how to tune it here anyway. So, it's got 86 strings on it. So what are you worried about? What do you mean I played a wrong note? You don't know what I mean.
Right.
So yeah, it's a lot of that's false barriers, which I don't mind. But I think most of the things that impressed me growing up, I was impressed because someone had access to a special thing that I didn't have access to. One of those
Yeah.
would be a 4-track player or a DAT machine. This was a really big deal back then. It was a DAT machine, digital audio tape or something. It was like the most expensive piece of technology in the world. And if you were a musician, only 1 out of 300 of you were going to be able to have access to that. And the people that have access to that are, believe it or not, going to have to go through, not creators, but this other word, this other thing. And it's, what is the word in my article? Sorry, I've totally spaced it, but I got to look this up. But it's
Engager?
engagers, yes, because thank you
Engager.
so much, because so much of music has an engagement element to it. Most of it does. It would need to. And so you end up with an industry that really has few creatives in it, but most of the people are more focused on the engagement of it. I would say that marketing is kind of a similar thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with these fields, by the way. I just think it's fundamentally different. And I noticed that social media tramples on the creators because of it. So I felt like I was kind of ranting today about that.
No, I didn't feel that you were ranting at all.
But it did come out because I watch how well the engagers do
Right.
and how shitty the creators do because I'm one of them. I see it all the
I
time.
watch that too. I watch that all the time. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that I was saying while you were going to fix the feed, but I said $450,000 a day. What could you do with that?
Yeah.
What could you do with that? And that's the taking something, and it's selling the globalist fear. And I was like, and then people are taking the drugs that he thinks you should, whether it's super tea or whatever the stuff that he's promoting. I'm like, what? What's that? Yeah. So I was just like, whoa. It was powerful stuff today. Plus, weaving in the music the way you did it, I thought was so masterful.
Well,
Great job.
Thank you. It's a lot easier not being on camera because you can just focus. Like, really, it's just mostly that, So we'll see what happens with everything.
Yeah.
And of course, tonight's different too. And I'm sorry to spring this on you, Laura. I just figured we'd try it. That's all. There's
Yeah, why
nothing
not?
concrete at all about this. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I figured we'd try this. And if you'd like, I'll say a few words why.
Yeah, great.
But I don't want anyone to feel like, look, this is the decision. I've asked you guys before for feedback. I think most of you guys are just flexible. You're just like, well, why don't you come up with something? I'm like, all right, fair enough. And I think sometimes the reason why we've had to stop making the dojos public is because typically something would happen and I would withhold the episode because either I'm trying to save someone's feelings or it's just a little bit too personal or whatever. And it's this, seems like this over and over thing where every season or so there's like 1 to 4 episodes that we just have to trash because we just do. And it's not that I mind trashing episodes. It's just that I don't know if that's even maybe the best way forward. And with so many people having there's so many creators out there. There's so many creators out there. So many people are writing. They have, I mean, so many people in our family, in our tribe here are writers. They have their own stuff. And I already did Saturday Night Ride to just accommodate more voices. But honestly, I just feel it's too crowded. What I mean is that the voices are so great. I just want more room, that's all. I just think, wow, this is freaking great. So I was kind of thinking that I wonder if Monday Night Ride could turn into something more like Saturday Night Ride, but just Monday night. The only maybe twist I'd throw at it is that maybe we could start accommodating a guest spot on Monday, and we could pre-think about who or what we would want to come to that. And there's already a lot of creators that I've seen that even are either inside our wheelhouse or not, as far as like hanging out with us or whatever, that I think would be a great fit for this. It would allow us to have sort of a leeway about a certain subject or a certain topic. It would give some of you guys the ability to sit out a dojo, or to be more of a listener, or to be more of a participant, because you know that something is coming up here. If we were to kind of aim it in that way, I'd like to think that we would start creating our own topics, and all of us would sort of be looking forward to that, knowing that, well, Monday we're going to discuss blah, blah, blah. And I've been looking forward to this all week. Now I'm here. I'm going to share something. And then someone sharing something about that. And if we were a little bit ahead, if we were a little bit less loosey-goosey, which I like loosey-goosey. I mean, there's a lot of benefits to that. But if we did have sort of a guiding sort of topic like that, it could really alter the way the airship moves, the way the audience responds to it, stuff like that. So right now my thought is, let's try that. Saturdays, I think are already crowded enough. I don't think we could fit guests. Honestly, there's just so much good raw talent there on Saturday anyway. In fact, Monday might even allow some of the Saturday people to kind of move over to Monday, just because, sometimes it's crowded around the mic. I don't think it happens a lot, but it does happen.
By accident, Brad got muted.
There's Brad like that, and Brad. Although this is good practice, I need people to know I'm gonna have to mute some of you guys sometimes, and so you have to be watching that all the time. And welcome to my world of not knowing if you're muted or not. So there's that. but yeah, so these are all things, and what I would do is I would set up a Calendly page. It's just this booking site thing, and we could either we personally could sign up as guests on this, or this would be what we would send other potential guests. You guys could even send this out, and people could sign up for that, even like months ahead, even, and then that would be something all of us could check and see. We would know who's coming up and whatnot. So that's sort of the idea. And cool. We can certainly have the idea of a dojo is still ripe. We can certainly do that. We still have Fridays too. So I'm just saying, I'm really flexible. This could be a horrible idea. We could land this thing in 2 minutes and go back to dojo, and I would be just as fine with that. But that's what's happening with spring, and that's why we're trying this right now. So
cool. Well, I think it's a great creative stretch, and I think it's the time to do it. So I'm kind of really cool in this place. I know Bloom's hand's up, but I just wanted to share that this great unknown that I've like leaped into, and my creativity is like off the chart back, and I don't want to just stay in something because it's a safe thing to stay in, but to be able to alchemize the truth of like a dojo format and know that you're live. Like if you're broadcasting out now, it's like, then that's kind of, watching your spine and watching your, your self-mastery with self. And I think it's kind of a good thing, because don't you want to be vibe liable? Don't you want to have be frequency specific to your own vibe? So, and then, what do you want to pollinate? So I think it's a really good thing. So I'm going to put this hat on that I made finish today. Okay. I hope you can see it, but it's like an elf hat. Goes all the way up. And now I'm going to call in Dark Bloom. Go ahead, Bloom.
Hello, happy
Hello.
birthday, all of you. I actually was just originally going to build off of kind of what was spoken on the live today, but in response to that idea, James, I do really like with the topics, because then we're like simmering and soaking, and especially for me personally and my hermitness, it's in the isolation where these things kind of come together as this really meaty, thick soup stew that is more it's just more hearty, honestly. And then if you pick a day, like if I were to stick with Saturday, then I can listen Monday and do kind of what I do when I tend to miss your lives, where I sit and I will pause and I will write, and then I will go back or re-listen, and it's not so much like it's less live fire,
Yep.
because I think one of the biggest things about what you're talking about today is kind of putting the onus back on the creators to really recognize that we have to be the living algorithm, which means we have to connect and we have to light things up that way. Because I totally agree with you. Social media algorithm is absolutely coded to see consumption as creation. It thinks engagement is living, not actually experiencing and really seeding the process. So I think that would be fun, and I appreciated today, and I appreciated the play on words with simulcast, once you use your judgment as an instrument to sharpen that discernment. And I also want to say that I think it's y'all's fault that I started watching Farscape again, because you started talking about Jim Henson.
That's great, Dark Bloom. I really like the music that you've been putting out, and I think it would be really great if you came on with some of your writing. Like, I think that would be great for like coming on as a guest.
Yeah, I love that idea too, Dark Bloom.
Yeah, because your music, inspiring James's music, and it's kind of like, I don't know, it's just really awesome.
It's funny too, sorry, but it's funny too, because I was thinking about it, and like and I could be totally wrong, James and Lori. You guys might be exactly the same as I am, but I cannot hold as many feelings as I think you guys can hold. Like, I would rather play for the most smallest but like alive, because that's where my heart is. And half the time when I'm making my music, it's for what's close to me internally, and who and what is close to me also. And we'll say this kind of Aquarian sense. So yeah, I appreciate you guys. I really do.
Well, I relate to wherever you are and however you want to share. I just wanted to validate your talent. So
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, Karen,
on that note, just because I don't, actually Alex has got his hand up, but still, this will be quick. On that note, someone on Substack, has always been sort of angry at the world, and I've always encouraged their creativity. And they put out a lot of really hard satire, real biting, this is why Trump sucks, that kind of stuff. And even though that's not really in my wheelhouse, I just know that there's an artist in there banging on something. Do you know what I mean? and I sense that, and so I thumb up his stuff, even if I don't even want to look at it. Like I sometimes I'll get the tone of it, and it's really angry. It shouts a lot. And so when I started coming out with music, he started replying with, he never would like a song. He would just reply with, "Oh, you used AI for that," or later on he'd say, "Yeah, I started using AI. Here's my song." And it came to realize he's angry because no one hears him. That's the only thing that he's angry about.
Yeah, that's true. That not enough witness can make that happen.
Yeah, and that's the schizophrenia that sets in. And that's one of the interesting things that the Suno platform is doing, is it's allowing you to produce something like that. And something interesting happened. I don't think it helped him. This is one of those things where I wasn't compassionating him. I was more compassionating myself. Because I sort of have been ignoring his comments, just been noticing his behavior. And I've been posting more songs, and his comments have gotten a little bit more caustic. Not too much, because I'm used to him being caustic, as we've discussed before. And so I finally he said something like, "Yeah, I released a song, but it just like anything, it never goes anywhere." And I said, "How many times do you listen to the songs that you make?"
Good question.
Mm-hmm.
And he wrote back, and he didn't understand the question. He literally said, "I don't understand what you mean. I don't understand what you're asking." And I didn't bother to explain, because I don't think it would have gotten in. I don't think that he would have seen that there's, when I'm writing the music that I think is the best, I don't give fucking shit about any of you guys. I don't care what you like. I have zero thoughts in my mind about whether or not you think this is cool. This is like the last thing I'm going to even be thinking about if I'm really deep in the pocket. And I don't think that he ever feels that way. And I don't know. I think the Engager, this is why that article is kind of, I sort of stuck it in the middle of the show today. I don't think that the Engager knows that. Do you understand what I mean? The Engager, not the creator. The Engager is never going to know that kind of thing. I said it like this. The creator is doing it, it's 100% personal. And this makes the creator antisocial. Just hear me out. The creator is antisocial in this case. He's doing everything for purely personal reasons. The Engager is the exact opposite. He is apersonal. He has no personal attachment to what he created, to what is being created. He is nothing but social. So he is apersonal. He is anti-personal. He is pro-social. Everything about him is social. And it's important to hear. I don't know why it's important that I defend this, because they're already doing fine. I'm not here trying to attack this. I'm just saying, do you see how profoundly different this is? This is a complete inversion. A way of it's almost like the music would not be able to be produced if it didn't have engagers like this. The same way memes would never survive. They would never spread if there weren't engagers. So, it's really important. But social media is only built for that. The engagers. That's really the only thing. That's all I got on that. Thanks.
Well, I just wanted to share that this whole level of me holding wholeness with not needing anyone to know me, in being then my creativity's coming. I don't care if anyone likes it. I'm just creating for the creation of my uniqueness. And I didn't even know that I had kind of let my creativity go and I became an engager. I was listening to way too much video,
Yes.
way too much content, way too much like trying to find the truth to something.
Yeah.
And that was me turning my creativity into this engager, and I became really unhappy. And so I love that this witnessing that I'm witnessing myself. So I'm spending all this time in nature, quiet. Deers are like 3 feet from me. Squirrels, I had a pileated woodpecker 4 feet from me. I am like so like quiet with my own witnessing. So I want to call on Alex. Welcome. I know that you've been here before, but I'm so glad to see you in the middle of the night in England. And yeah, come on out and tell us what you got to share.
Cool, thank you, Laurie. If I was in England, it'd be an hour earlier and I'd be an hour less tired. But yeah, no, France pretty much sucks as far as being the longest time away. But yeah, I'm really glad to be here. I just actually listening to what you were saying about that, I can really relate to it at the moment with what I'm doing, although it's not writing or music, but I've got into both at different times in my life. I used to DJ and when I was younger, and I just really kind of always find myself kind of listening to bits of music and kind of fitting them together. Like James, I was listening to the kind of drum and bass stuff that you're putting out, the Tesseract Jack, and then I was mixing that in my head to the Chasing Hecka track as well, and just feeling how the sort of contrasts but the similarities and how they'll fit together, and that was just working really nicely for me. So
beautiful.
I'm really into that from that perspective. I'm really enjoying that, and I think it's pretty cool that you've kind of branched into this way, and in a way what I'm doing I'm finding aspects of both that experience of engager and creator with like these wood sculptures, these tree stumps that I'm kind of shaping into furniture and sculptures and things like that. So I'm going into the woods on my own, and kind of I'm really getting that kind of creation, that real kind of solace and just being part of and engaging with the voices and the noises and the experience of the natural world all around me while I'm actually finding these pieces, and then kind of coming back to that creation process and then bringing them into a space where it's all kind of power tools and rough noises and die grinders that want to rip your arm off and things like that. So, you know, I mean, it's weird because I'm not doing anything special. I'm doing something anybody could do what I'm doing. But most people probably, if they're doing it for 10 minutes, will either kind of go, ow, that really hurts, or this is just going to take too fucking long and I can't be bothered with it. You know? So it's more a kind of bloody mindedness that is my kind of my edge on this, really, is sort of stubborn determination to keep doing it. So I'm really kind of enjoying that in a sense, and I suppose what I'm really kind of getting a lot out of the solitude of the creative process, but I'm also finding that people that are seeing these pieces and experiencing them, that's in that engagement side, they're getting something almost different out of it than what I'm necessarily finding. I'm really enjoying the way that these static objects actually start to kind of bring a sense of movement into them with the different shapes and things, that there's almost like this sense of a dance going on, of the suggestion of movement, which is what I'm really enjoying. There's a kind of poetry and a narrative in that. But other people are really finding these shapes actually quite sort of in their solidity and the sort of the fixedness of the forms. They're finding them really sensual, because the wood is kind of, in a lot of places, is really smooth and sanded, and I've kind of really kind of, you know, gone into this dialogue with the natural form of it to actually sort of, at first I was just leaving it alone as it was and kind of treating it as this kind of sacred thing, but gradually over time I've been able to kind of just go, no, actually I'm gonna get a little bit stronger with the intervention, and I'm gonna actually bring my aspect of the dialogue and my voice into it in a less sort of hesitant way, and just be a little bit more bold with it. And it's really interesting what results out of that. You know, it's not necessarily the natural form entirely, but it's a combination of two things really, two sort of voices, the one of the tree and the one of what I'm feeling from it. So yeah, it's fascinating. And particularly, I mean, like being in the woods, I've been Renee, I've been really kind of getting into the whole Sasquatch thing, recently, and also looking at I don't know if you've come across this, but there's a channel at the moment called How to Hunt, a guy called Steve Isdall, and he's a pro hunter up in Canada, but he has basically had his own experiences since he was 15 or so. And people have been sending him in emails for the last sort of 6 years, and now he's got about 40 odd thousand emails of accounts from people in the States, Canada, South America, Europe, UK, all over, Russia, everywhere in the world. And it's fascinating to see that this kind of phenomenon is actually really not what we thought at all. But there's a fascinating aspect to kind of being in the woods there, particularly at dusk and dawn at these times. And I've been in there in times that I've never really kind of, once in the UK, had an experience of something I really can't explain and still can't. But it's more just a sense of like, if I'm there at dusk and particularly if I've got a chainsaw or something like that, there'll come a time where something in the woods will go, hey, time to go. And the atmosphere will be like, no, it's time to go now.
Wow.
And you really feel that. And it's like, okay, that's it. I'm packing up. It's time for me to leave the woods to be the woods. And this energy's not needed here. It's not the time for this. And it's really good to kind of pick up on that and feel it. And you do get that sensation of like, if I don't listen to this, it's not going to feel any better. It's going to feel more uncomfortable.
God, plus, plus if you do listen to that, you actually end up getting more power from the woods the next time you're there because you respected that. And then when you're back, it's like, oh, this guy's back. Remember that? We're going to be...
Exactly.
Yeah, this is... Oh, I love it. This is good stuff.
Yeah, and it gets me talking to the woods as well. I mean, I'm talking to the environment and kind of sharing that experience back with it and going, yeah, okay, I can feel that, I can hear that, yeah, I hear you, I see you, sort of thing. Even though I don't, but it's a fascinating experience to have, and man, it's particularly at the moment. At the moment, well, what was it? Last week, just over a week ago, I quit smoking cannabis and tobacco in earnest, really, for the first time in about 33 years. Having been a full-on smoker for pretty much since I was about 17.
Wow.
So that's been pretty intense. And to combine that, because, well, basically I found that I was coughing really badly a lot. And I've also had I've got a little basal cell carcinoma, which I'm having cut out in a month or so, which I treated for a little while on my own with hydrogen peroxide. But of course, in Europe, they treat you like kids. So in the States, for example, you can go into a store and you can buy 30% concentrated hydrogen peroxide. Pretty strong stuff. You can't do that here. You can get 10 or 12.
Wow.
So it doesn't really work. But I thought, hey, I'm going to give it a go. Didn't really do the trick. So it's been a big deal kind of letting go and actually allowing, conventional medicine to kind of step in and me to kind of create the space for that and go, okay, I'm going to go with this. I'm just going to, something that I would have been kind of really apprehensive about engaging with because my feeling about the institution of healthcare, shall we say, and particularly with things like cancer, that you sort of, it can be pretty scary, kind of going into that system, into that machine. So it's been a fascinating experience, kind of going through that with the ending the addiction. So it's like being a wire with the insulation stripped off.
Yeah.
You're just kind of exposed to the ether, sort of thing, and all the little perturbations are that much more kind of. So those things combined, and then kind of, also simultaneously coming to a pretty brutal end of a 13-year relationship as well. So all of these things are really kind of throwing into the mix. And I don't think I felt more kind of raw and alive at the moment as I have, and just had my car on return last week as well, for whatever that means. But that's been all in all, this is a pretty fascinating time. So it seems just kind of, I would probably seem foolish to be doing all of this at the same time, but at the same simultaneously, it just felt like, well, in for a penny, in for a pound.
Yeah, I've been saying this idea that there's a lot of flux in the air, and it sounds like you've been seeing it too. Like to a much more amplified degree, and really, that's the best time to invoke all kinds of changes.
Right.
Is during those moments like that, and you find yourself wanting to create a psychic separation from something, even though you're maybe not necessarily want to separate it from it. Sort of like how Lori was with her house. It's just more of like, look, I just need to not be attached, even though, look, it's fine, but just let me say this, okay? I just need psychically, I need to feel that way, and this is where we're able to move and pleomorph, basically.
There was an
like
invitation just kind of screaming at me, really.
Yeah.
Because I'd been toying with these things for a long time, several of these changes, and it was like, I know it's going to come. I'm not going to be able to run away from this. I'm not going to be able to avoid any of these things. So it's like, just dive in.
I think in the very beginning, you were discussing the musical aspects of this, which I think they're actually related. I think that these may even be more related than you see, although maybe you do see it, Alex. But when you start to dissolve and destroy all those things, what's left is the moment. What's left is feeling alive, being in time. And I think music is that's why it's back in my life. Why I'm not so much as an engager. Last year, I spent the entire year crushing myself because I wasn't engaging effectively. I'm just not a good engager. And Renee, I can't get any more fucking subscribers. And I'm trying this, and now I'm doing this. It's like this, and now I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And never was I really creating.
Yeah, I really felt that. And as I was watching some of the streams as well, I really kind of got that feeling from you. And at the same time, I was really feeling strongly this sort of like, no, but you're fucking on it, man. You're on your own thread. It's like, who fucking cares? And like you said, sometimes it's like the less subscribers, the better.
Yeah.
You want it rarefied.
You need, you need things to fall apart enough to where you kind of can just give up and say, look, I'm going to fucking do it this way. This is what's going to happen. And that takes a lot of courage.
Yeah.
Sure.
And failure gives courage, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When everything starts to crash around you, that isn't crashing. That's the universe giving you courage. And you're like, well, now I'm running out of reasons not to just do something, not to just drastically change. And it's interesting you said that you noticed the rhythm, especially about those two songs, because I'm going to tell you a secret. I was born in 5/4, and that's 5/4 time. Those drum beats are 5/4, Alex. It's 5/4.
Yeah.
And it's that syncopate, right? It causes
I grew up
that.
in the UK in the 90s, so it's, jungle and drum and bass was kind of my... that was what was lighting a fire under me at the time, was kind of real
I've been
dark,
really
nasty,
feeling that.
dingy clubs in London where they were playing scary music and things. It was, that was what did it for me. So.
One of the things my friend on Substack who was angry, that in my head, the conversation, I did finish with him because he did have enough to talk to me about it. But the conversation went more like, I don't think that you've probably listened to your song maybe hundreds of times. I probably have. Like all my songs, I've probably listened to at least 100 times. And every time that I'm listening to it, it's not kitschy. I'm listening to it because I'm there in the moment. I'm like, this is fucking great. And it only gets better because I think I deserve better. I only make the song better because I think I deserve for this to feel better. I think I deserve for this to feel better. And so you keep trying iterations after iterations. And if you're a good creative, and I think I'm learning a new skill it's really iffy, but sometimes I really feel like, oh my God, I really hit this. And I only know I hit it because of the way I feel. I don't have to say, I'm going to show this to other people and see how it feels. I'm more like, holy shit, listen to this. The fuck, this feels this way. I already know. I know how it feels, you know? And this is
I really get that.
yeah, this is that difference where it's you're inside of that box or you're outside that box in the creative endeavor. It was the same way when I was a software programmer. I never, ever, ever wanted to play video games, but my God, I would bend over backwards, shape my entire life to program one for you. I found the idea of programming that to be very rewarding. But for fuck's sake, you want on my day off, you want me to sit down and play a game? Are you high? Are you fucking... that's just the way I saw it. It was like completely the last thing I would ever want to do, ever. And so this is the engager versus the creator. Now, I think that when I catch this is why I wrote this article, because I'm noticing what I was missing. I think that when a creator is forced into engager and doesn't realize that's what's happening, they start to asphyxiate. They start to starve. They starve enough to where hopefully their channel falls apart and they're just like, well, I fucking give up. I'm just going to fucking do this or whatever. And then you're able to just to restart yourself and find a creator in there. And I think ultimately that's what's happening. And I think that engaging is its own creative act. But I just think that the merits of what the engager is going to be able to call a creative act is the gathering of other people's attention. That literally is the only form of art that it is. And that's why it's just so completely different. And that's why it's necessary. Our art, the things we do with our hands, would never reach the world. And it would be angry, just like that guy's music. Would be angry because I don't think that he could listen to that song that he's written 4 or 5 times in a row. And guys, I'll tell you something. The songs that I wrote for this, the Tesseract Jack, I think those are angry songs. I think they've got an edge to them. And I don't like the fact that you guys were listening to them. And it's like, I think it's the same kind of thing. And I did my best to make it more palatable. In fact, Annie even weighed in. It was great. Annie's like, I like this other version better. And it's like, I get that, but this other version is more palatable. You're not going to leave going, why are my ears hurting? Why is this so? And they're hurting because that's what that world sounds like. That's what Tesseract Jack sounds like, you know? I cut a jazz version today, a low, slow. It's on the Underground playlist if you guys want to hear it, but I might play it after this dojo, but it's like really chill. And then I released a different version of the ad. Instead of them selling Vitality, it's a different PSA. I'll save that. I'll let that surprise you. But it's, I'm vibe liable. Like, I cannot think of a more appropriate example to think about that when you're writing music and what is the tone and what do you want the music to say and how do I feel after listening to Tesseract Jack. I've probably listened to those songs. It's been like 3 days of listening to that, doing nothing but just producing Tesseract Jack. You know, at least 100 versions, about 5 of them are mainstream. Out of those 5, there's like 6 iterations of each of them fine. You know, it's like stuff like that. Like that's all. And I still like it, which is the only reason why I published it, because even though it's hard, even though it's I'm still like, this is fucking great. Like, it's like when I listen to it, it's like I still feel detached enough to where I don't become the emotion. I get to make fun of it. I get to dance with it because it's got a good groove to it. So you kind of compassionate. I'm kind of getting off track, but you know what I'm saying? It's such a creative act. I'm just so much fucking fun. God. Oh.
But the edge is the part that I've really loved. Is the grittier side of it. Yeah, it was awesome. I don't want to take up any more time, but I did want to just say one thing, James. I absolutely fucking loved Black Eye Club. Thank you for sending me a copy of that. I haven't had a chance to say it to you yet, but I loved it. It was like it had an essence of, I don't know, you've probably read Imagica by Clive Barker.
No, I haven't.
Yeah. It's a huge book. It's epic, but the richness of the world that you were drawing out and painting and describing there and bringing out into reality in the book it's got that power, and it was just like, oh my god, I want more of this. I want the next bit. I want the world to be growing even more.
Oh,
Do you
fuck
know what I
yeah,
mean?
man.
So I'm still
Oh,
looking forward to more of that. Really,
Yeah.
I don't know if you've got anything planned, and you don't have to answer, but I just wanted to let you know that, like, for me, it was just like, yeah, I'm loving this.
oh,
The
thank you.
movie was there in my head; it was playing out the color and everything. So yeah, I thought that was awesome. Thank you.
No, you're killing me here. I'm beaming. Oh, man. Wow. Thank you so much, Alex. Seriously. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Alex.
No
And
worries.
I really relate to. I'm in a place that there was no drugs or alcohol, and I like to partake in cannabis. And I had to make a commitment to myself. I don't think there's anything wrong with the cannabis, but I was using it for sleep, and now I'm in nature, and it's taking care of all of whatever that was. And the edge of witnessing myself and not expecting anyone else to witness me is it's like a real power source. And I can feel in your share about the flow state that the trees are having you kind of flow into, and it didn't sound like you had any need for anyone else to like what you were doing. So that was like the beautiful gift of the synchronicities of where we are astrologically, individually. I just think we're in a really awesome time, and I'm really happy to see and witness you here. So thank you, and please come back. Hey, Renee, your hands up.
Hey, my hand's up. Yeah, that's I imagine myself whittling someday. I'd like to whittle something, so do some type of woodwork. I'm just in awe of that skill, and yeah, it sounds like you're having a lot of calling. You're being called, and the thing when I first was started on this journey, I would just be like, why aren't you outside? Like, it's like, go outside. What's wrong with you? Go outside. I'm like, I guess I gotta go outside now. It was an urge, but it's also kind of bossy. Like, why are your shoes on? What, really? You want to wear? I'm like, fine, I'll take my shoes off. So it's almost like I get overridden by my caw. It's like, let's go play. But yeah, so I love that they're giving you like, okay, Alex, it's time to go, Alex, it's time to go. Yeah, I love that communication. But as well as you go into the forest, you can find, like, I found books. I found so many things in the forest, but recently I found a bow. I found a bow, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what I'm talking about. So today I
Wow.
loaded arrows. So this is going to be going to the park.
They're
That was
nerve
yesterday. I felt it's like a Nerf thing.
Nerf?
Artemis. This is Artemis, honey.
So literally on the top of Mount Tabor, I'm like, la 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 la, and I'm like, what is that green thing? And I walk, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Yes, you're not. You're not kidding me. So yes, now I have a bow and an arrow, and today I found this timer. This blue timer. So you don't know what you're going to find at the park. Like, seriously, you just go. I found a water gun. I've seen so many beautiful structures. I've buried things they've been unburied. It's wild out there, guys. So Gaia is like really revving up to play, and I think the more we play, the more Gaia plays, and I think as we get more in the frequency of the Sasquatches, they can be anywhere and everywhere. They blend in there. They're camouflage, man. I might have one on my shoulder right now. But it's so incredible that these worlds are interweaving, and yeah, I have Alex. I feel you out there at the sunrise. I mean, you see your sun, and then I see the sun. So we're sharing that experience together, the cracking of dawn. So it's like a Red Rover, so the sun right over, and then as many of us catch it and honor it, kind of like so let's say in Egypt they would worship Ra. So I think it's just coming back online. Yeah, thanks a lot. That's it.
Thanks, Renee. Hey, Isaiah, I love that name.
Hey, Lori. Hey, everybody. Thank you.
Good to see you.
Good
Yeah.
to see everybody here. Hey, I was hoping to just maybe make a quick comment, sort of related to the electronic music specifically that you're making, James, and bringing AI into the discussion. I guess I've thought of an analogy. I think you and Lori were talking about this at the beginning, but I guess from a creation standpoint, it's almost difficult for me to see the difference when you really zoom out between something like a synthesizer or electric guitar, any type of electric instrument, compared to an AI, using AI as a tool to make music. I sort of think of it as a human input. There's some sort of
Yeah.
computer modification to whatever extent, and then an output. So I guess to me, maybe it's, my generation is younger. To me, it just, to somebody to insult you because your song is AI sort of just doesn't compute, no pun intended, in my head. Because it's almost, like I said, that there's some sort of computer processing involved regardless. So, and I guess sort of building on that, I think for me personally, I've always been a big fan of electronic dance music or just any type of electronic music. And I feel, I don't want to say everybody is attacking electronic music, but I think that, sometimes people may scoff at it and say, oh, that's not real music or whatever. But I guess to give you a compliment, what I've noticed with your electronic music is it's actually, there's such a deeper layer of meaning in the lyrics compared to what you might hear, what's popular, what's on the top charts. So yeah, I really appreciate the music. I guess I feel compassion for you that you're feeling attacked, that you're based on the tools you're using to make it. So, I've just really been liking that music. And I guess the last thing, if you don't mind, I won't speak too long, but I guess.
Please take your time.
Thank you, Laura.
Okay, I appreciate it. Just the whole discussion of creation versus, I'm going to forget the other word, creation versus consumption.
Engaging, engagers versus creators.
Engager. Right. Okay. I guess maybe I'm just. I guess from my perspective, your live streams, the intro. I've always been a huge fan of the intro. I consider that a form of art, even though you've used Particle House and other artists with the song. But the intro, the content within your streams, the slideshows that you create. To me, that all is creation. So I guess I want to boost your older work. Not that you're bringing it down at all, but I want to boost it up and consider a lot of your older work creation and maybe bring it up a bit. So that's what I got for now. Thanks.
Isaiah, I really kind of think that's true because of James's creator. It was maybe more how he was listening. Because I was thinking about how much creation goes into making slides or how creativity, your brain works in bringing the herstory back into, like, you take a spin that's super creative and then you flush it out through brain science or for whatever reason. It makes a creative want to listen to it. So it did not feel at all. I think it's just trying to get an audience that gets what how you create. And I'm really glad last week when I was kind of sad, I wasn't sad that you're making music at all. I was more like sad because I didn't want that creation to go away. And that was like that, what Isaiah was saying.
Yeah.
It's like, that is super, super, it's like, but you being that creator and like stifling yourself because you're compared to these podcasters that are just taking other people's work and getting to, monetize it. It's like, I want to boost that work too, because it's timeless. The research you've done in the Iroquois Confederacy to the Civil War to Egypt to all of it, it's timeless. So I don't really think it's not created, like creation, So yeah. I just wanted to double on that.
You guys are freaking awesome. I was just like drunk right now on just the slides take the slides take a shitload of time and every bit of it is pure raw curiosity, and that's what if you all of that, all the genius in the world is just rampant curiosity, right? We know this. Yeah. And if I'm entitled to feel a certain amount of dilation, this is why I talk about this all the time. If I'm entitled to feel a certain amount of dilation, then when I get up and I and I don't know what to think about, I might ask an engager what to think about. God forbid, but I might. And the engager will say, well, here's a dead guy that's fucking said this. And then I'll try that, and I'll be like, can I play with this dead body? You know, like a cat. And I'm like, oh, well, here's a mouse. Let me play with this. And then you try that. And then what happens if I'm lucky is I get mad. I get pissed off at something. And then I would engage about how I was pissed off. That would be most of my bit for many years. And there's nothing wrong with this. I'm just saying this is the process. And then I would notice, oh, I don't want to have such a pissed off signal all the time. And what would piss me off I would turn it into a creative endeavor about why this is wrong. And it wouldn't necessarily be that, but it's still on the edge of that negativity. Then you start to realize, well, wait a minute, if this is right, then we have to redefine the understanding of this word. And that's where most of my work is now. I think you could probably see that. The most of my work is, hey, did you know this definition is actually kind of cool? Blah, 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 blah. And then that's my shtick, you know, that's my Seinfeld, you know, is, hey, have you ever hear about moths? Am I right? Come on. There's moths. There's Icarus. Come on. You know, it's like, that's basically my bit. And that entire bit is because of how curious I am, you know? Yeah. And I think that comes from the entitlement that I feel that I'm going to die in the room if I don't find something super interesting. And I don't know if everyone has that. I think that until you develop into a creator, maybe an engager is a great place to be because it's so creative to be there. You're not actually having to defend ideas. You're more just spreading them. You're more measuring how popular you guess they will be. And if you can do that, you are showing a deep understanding of people. And that is a skill that I have to like. And I have to understand that this is a vital part of what I do. And this is why I'm like, I just wish engagers would choose my berries. That's really what I want.
Yeah,
you know, I don't want to be an engager, and I tend to have to be an engager because I'm like, why the fuck aren't people responding to this brilliant article I wrote about the clear problems that we're facing right now? And that's how it all started. That's what I did my first live stream was. That's what started. So those kinds of angsts, those kinds of schizophrenic angsts of not being seen are exactly the creative process. Mm-hmm. And the only thing that really, I think, distinguishes us is how hungry do you allow yourself to be? If you catch yourself, like Renee was saying about her shoes, like, well, why are you fucking living with shoes on? If you catch yourself in accepting your own mundanity, if you catch yourself a few times and really, really, really be insulted by what you would do to yourself by doing that. By like, look, I noticed your heart rate. I noticed how engaged you are. I noticed your blood flow. I noticed your posture. I noticed the way you think about yourself. I noticed the cavity of your mouth is even less open. Everything's collapsed. Your rib cage. Who the fuck are you? Why are you in this room accepting that this is, what the fuck are you doing? And you start to, I think what happened to me is because of when I was in that voice choir, it was like, all they did was beat your ass about posture. Like, seriously, that was all it was. It was just like, if you don't fucking sit up straight, Jimmy True, I'm going to come over there and I'm going to shove this baton right up your ass and you are going to be straight. And you're just like, okay, I'm going to sit up fucking straight. And maybe that's what it takes. And maybe if all of us were to have that kind of thing, but you could do it to yourself. You can do it to yourself. And I think when you start to do it to yourself, you don't notice that there's a bunch more electrons. You'll never notice. You're never going to notice, wait, I'm collecting 10% more electrons. You're not going to notice that. Not until you get better at subtle energy. And you're not going to be able to have fudge. You're not going to be able to like do things that are caustic. You're not going to be able to listen to the music that I wrote this weekend and also notice that you have 10% more energy because the fidelity You get what I mean? So it's like the delicacy of your art, of your creator, I'm telling you, is the antithesis of the engager, because the engager is going to go out and be saturated and be satisfied with all the dead flowers that people are spreading around. And because you're satisfied, you as the artist are going to come back and you're going to go, well, I've wandered through. This is what I mean by don't you dare fucking read a magazine about being a skater, man. You got to get on the skateboard and you got to jump over the 280Z. You got to just fucking do it. If you read a magazine about it, you are never, ever, ever going to do this. And I think that's the difference. And it's really about calories. I hate to see an engager gaslight themselves. I've done that. I think I've got more calories than I do, and I think I can just remember that I'm a creator, but I've been an engager for months, and I know how this works. And I have to try and create, and I'm going to, this is what happens. This is exactly what happens. You start to play with the toy, and you realize this is not, it's a ukulele, and this isn't going to go anywhere. And no one's going to do this, or I'm not recording, or I'm not filming, or it's in the right angle, and you're not playing for yourself at all. You're not even in the fucking room yet. But you told yourself, I want to be a creator now. I want to be a creator. And you got to fake it till you make it. You got to fake it till you make it. And you got to notice, this is what I mean by you really have to love tasting the cobalt, because you're going to notice, wow, I ate too much 2 days ago or whatever. I'm not in you haven't been in that creative vessel in so long that you don't even realize when you get there, oh shit, I can't eat meat. What the fuck am I doing? I'm not saying you guys that you can't be creative. I'm just saying it's a lot like that. I swear it's just like this. And you notice that your vessel, in order for you to create, it's like you need more tea and shit. And I gotta fucking clean my room. And you're like, this is going to take days. And because if you can withstand that long, you want to clean your readout, you're going to do that. You're going to put in all the time. And then once you do, you're never, ever going to want to engage. You're going to wake up and you're going to notice how quiet it is. And you're going to be like, my God, this is beautiful. And you can hear your own music being played before you've even had your coffee. Because you're like, how dare I fucking turn on a social feed right now? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is a Tibetan temple and you want me to turn on the fucking news? Are you mad? Listen to the birds, the way their wings resonate against the bell of the temple, and you want me to fucking turn on face. This is not an engager's mind, is it? Meanwhile, an engager's going to be, got to get those numbers up. Need to log in because I got to post every 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And 8 hour, I'm going to get a better toke if I hit it at 11 a.m. Got to drop that hook right in there. Boom. Shh, be quiet. They're coming. Got a dead guy on this line. It's a fresh dead guy. No one's read this Edgar Allan Poe quote. Yeah, I'm going to get him. It's a totally different sport, isn't it? They're not even related.
No.
They are both creative. They are. They're both, one social, which is beautiful. Fuck. That's important. I know that I'm a goblin. I know that I do better in like goblin world. So I'm going to be naturally like, hey, fuck you guys and your social shit. But that's just important. That stuff's so important, you know? So anyway, that's all I got. This is a good topic though.
It is a great topic.
Except for I'll just say this. Music is research says the same though. Seriously, if I'm chasing down mythology, I feel the same way. There's no time, there's no schedule, there's nothing else. I'm just who is Persephone in relation to Belafonte and who raped who and who's just saying they were raped, and I'm all over that. I'm just like, this is fascinating. And the same thing when you come up with a beat and you're just like, oh, this is fucking great, but I got to get this right. And then I'm just like, these lyrics suck ass. I'm going to be spending 3 days on these lyrics, and you know it. And it's the ukulele and you're like, this is gorgeous. It's all you need. Those 4 strings are all you need. Everything else disappears. And then you got that, that Polynesian guy, somewhere over the rain. Like that performance, I think,
That is.
completely hits the nail on the head of what I'm saying,
Yeah.
It's exactly it. Anyway, thanks.
Brother is. I love, and that man was a huge, just in a lot of ways. I really like the experience that I'm having, because I'm having a dilation of nature, and I can not stand any video. I can barely get online now, and I don't have any need to know what's going on at all. It's such a different type of, and then correlates to my creativity coming back, because I was very much more in it, got sucked into that engagement thing. So yeah, I just really relate to this topic a lot tonight. So Dark Bloom, your hands up. Go ahead.
Yes. As we're talking about this, what I am really beginning to think about is how this creation is kind of the act of, call it a summoning circle or a fire, kind of signaling to other creators to gather and share, because there is such a deep reciprocity there that doesn't come from engagement. I think what, like James right now is talking about how he feels just having creatives interact and say this creation and how it's touched me. And I think Renee is right. I think something is coming online through magic and through creation, or we're just resurrecting a better Tesseract that we forgot, whichever. To the point where on James's point about producing, I've struggled with insomnia my entire life, and I just happened to go to the same program, and sometimes, like that social media feed, I'm literally just listening to the production of art creation, artistry, that beautiful. And James had put one out last night, and I know he's made other ones, and almost to the point where I don't want to say which one I like the most, because I don't want to interrupt his process. It's so beautiful in it of itself. And I'm sitting there listening to this song and I'm crying, because it's not just this mundane creation, because it's not mundane at all. It's a magic. That music is magic. Nobody will ever convince me otherwise. But it's also simultaneously telling me I'm not crazy. So I'm just going to preface this with, forgive me, I'm going to dream about all of you. I'm sorry, I can't not. I really can't. Because this is the way I've always been. It's probably why I hide my music. It's probably why I hide my writing and my magic, because you better not get too magic in public, guys. You can't do that. You just can't. But Saturday night, I'll just read what I wrote, and obviously you all will know exactly who I'm talking about. I dreamed Saturday night. A leading edge cosmologist removed his eyes on a live stream to clean both of them and the place that they sat. He said, only those who see me eyeless see me. And I'm going to add here, he also was like, you got a problem with my teeth? I'll take my mouth off too. And there was a duck keychain. So like I wake up and I know what I'm dreaming about. And I don't know what's happening, but something is. There's this clear connection across time and space, this shift in tesseracts and our understanding of the eternal now. And I think I wrote this too. We live in a funny world, one that mocks magic, but incessantly demand that it be performed in real time, live, as if caged clinical witness makes something real, or as if the scientific discovery of nuclear fusion is what created the sun.
Yeah.
I think creators need the people who can see them without eyes, who can see.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just nothing is more beautiful. To the point where now I can actually feel like I can share these dreams, and someone's not going to be like, "You're fucking weird. What's wrong with you? Why are you dreaming about people? Why is it aligning with what I'm doing? Are you spying on me?" Like, no, I'm an insomniac who has incredibly vivid dreams. That's just it. And I appreciate you guys, because it's not just that I feel like I can create. I feel like I can actually talk about these things that I have been with and have been with me my entire life. So thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Dark Bloom. I really appreciate that. I feel into that myself. I was kind of starving in a schizophrenic world and I feel blooming now. I feel Malamu now. So.
Yeah. Hey, if anyone doesn't know what I mean when we say schizophrenic, I don't mean to put words in Lori's mouth, but this idea that when you're alone schizophrenia is like a social disease, and you start to go crazy if you don't feel seen. And so most of the time when you're watching someone have a schizophrenic episode, they're seeing a reality that there's no way you can see, and that's exactly what they're going through. They're reacting to that personally. So this is not necessarily just our interpretation of it. Some people have been saying in the field lately that it does seem to be more of a social thing. And when you think about the contract that we have with reality, there's a tremor that happens in the eyes of certain people that suffer from albinism. And this tremor seems to be related to schizophrenia in a sense of maybe the eyes are trying to not see reality so that it matches up with how their mental state feels not being seen by reality. And so the eyes end up moving very fast to kind of keep itself calm. You could argue that the pigeon brain does the same, that the pigeon is moving its head all the time so that it doesn't feel reality is quite so concrete. And when it's not so concrete, it doesn't feel so formidable. It doesn't register so loud in its limbic system because it's not connected to it. So a lot of the artist's journey that you're seeing, honestly, guys, I think is a journey out of schizophrenia. That the reason why most of us are not, haven't lived in a family structure that has allowed the artist to be there is, quite frankly, just because of the fear of the schizophrenia. We didn't have enough psychic strength to be farther enough away from the culture, from the think about the culture as sort of like a central maypole, and it's kind of like has like a wireless signal, you know, and the self would be able to stretch further away, and the further away you go, the more danger you suffer from schizophrenia. And so you're looking at a kind of disk of humanity that is expanded because we have so many more calories now. And those calories are, you could say they're wasted, but honestly, this is why nature is a fountain, man. It's going to look like spew. I mean, that's what the jungle is. It's just a bunch of spewing, you know? So it's going to look like this. If anything, it proves that it's really natural. It proves that it's really honest, you know? So anyway, that's just the little schizophrenia sidebar.
I really appreciate that, because I think there's a lot of diagnoses that are diagnosis because there's lack of witness for the uniqueness of creatives. And yeah, so with that, I'll call on Alex again. Come on in.
Thanks, Laurie. Actually, I just really relate to that point that James is touching on at the moment. And, not the synchronicity of things is kind of omnipresent, and particularly something I've seen kind of bandied around on social media at the moment has been this, and I won't be able to quote it verbatim, but this idea from Carl Jung, where he was kind of really saying that what loneliness is not the absence of people around you so much as the absence of anybody to whom you can who can really kind of relate to what it is you're authentically trying to express, your authentic voice, that it can't be heard. And so, this is often where we kind of, and I've experienced this as well with my family and just in the world in general, is kind of having to kind of be the madman, be the one that sticks out, and almost the one that needs to be ostracized and driven out into the desert or whatever it is. It's like, from the perspective of the kind of the creator versus the engager, it was going back some time to the Eye of Ra. Okay, that, holy shit, man, that was really sticking a needle in people and going, look, can you take it? Will you see this? Will you see this? And I remember at the same time, it was like Owen Benjamin. He just went down that engager route, and you could see the kind of the fear in him of kind of going into this sort of really deeply personal kind of vulnerability of going, being prepared to kind of show that you're willing to engage with this point on a personal level really deeply and go, it's whatever you see, whatever I see, it's, I've got to be able to stand on my own experience, regardless of what anybody else is telling, whatever feedback I'm getting.
Yeah.
I'm not going to search for that kind of validation that makes me kind of, gives me a little comfortable pillow, a little blanket to wrap up in. It's just like, no, I've it's kind of like being ahead of the curve. It's going to be fucking lonely. It's going to be horrible.
Yeah.
But the value several years down the line, right? I mean, that thing, even now, back to that, the Eye of Ra, it's like, even now, today, 99% of people, you take that to them and they'd be like, fuck off. No way. No, we're not going there.
Yeah.
And it's tough, man. I really relate to it.
If you think about, I'm glad you brought this up, because if you think about the artist is an extension off of the main branch of the family line, and that extension has certain luxuries. One of them is a fucking flower. So now it's a ba. It's an artistically created flower that's able to produce pollen that goes out into the world. That's a lot of calories. And in order for the plant to be able to afford to flower like that, it's going to need a bunch of standing on the shoulders of giants before it. So there comes a time in culture where your human line starts to flower, but that time isn't even foretold. It isn't even foreordained. Most of our language is built on, hey, you have to actualize, and if you don't actualize, then you're fucked, and everyone has to do this and stand on their own. But honestly, the truth is much worse, because the truth of the matter is people don't have to stand on their own. We've actually created a society that means no one actually has to do that. We just have to never catch ourselves condoning that we really don't want to do that, even though we don't want to do that. And I swear to you, that's really more what it is. And it's I swear this is all good, because it means the artist is going to be the one that wants to stand up on their own. They're going to want to poke themselves up. And I'll tell you, the engagers are exactly what it looks like right before the artist springs all the way up. The engager would be that half up sort of stalk there. So the fact that we even have engagers, there's so many more of them now. And I think this is just the emergence of artists. And keep in mind, once this has emerged, this is all going to be pointless talk. might as well just be talking gray static noise, because none of it will ever be seen, because everyone will just be an artist. And this is how we remain invisible to how much we grow, because once culture, I think it happens so slow. It's kind of like the sun moving across your floor, it's never going to scream at you, hey, look, I fucking was over here, then I'm over here, and you didn't notice the whole time, you know. And it's like it moves with such a speed that we don't even document that it's happening. But what's happening is there's an emergence, and this emergence isn't even necessary. I think that's what the critics are for, Alex. I think the haters and the critics are for, they are seeing an opportunity to capitalize on the fact that most people do not want to go on a Hajj. What, right? Oh, you want to go to Mecca? Everyone wants to go to Mecca. And then 10 miles on the way to Mecca, you're going to have people set up selling bus tickets back home. They're going to be a business. So you don't want to fucking go to Mecca. It's fucking tired. It's dusty as shit. It's a lot of toll roads. And you end up with this same kind of thing, you know? So it and I like it because of the hermetic, esoteric aspects of this. I want it to be where the default is no one's doing it, you know? Even if we get more calories, I think that even the new standard artist will, I want you to imagine that what we consider like the most artistic artist will be so mundane and completely unacceptable as an artist in the future. And I want you to picture that person is probably like, I'm sorry, but they're probably like wearing a furry costume like 24/7, or they have like a mecha suit, or there's like, I'm just saying that they're living in an uber surrealistic life. Do you know what I mean? And they probably have some sort of budget. You see some of these people on YouTube. These guys have budgets that's just like, I'm going to build an underground, you know, house. Then I'm going to park my car here. And my car's a DeLorean. And we're going to have fun. It's just like, yeah, that's amped. And one day that will just be normal, guys. The same way you and I can go, let's build a fucking drone and, you know, attach some C4 to it. Like, we can fucking just do that now. And you used to not be able to do that now. So too in the future, all this will just be standard, regular, run-of-the-mill. You know, can you go down to Walmart and get me a nuclear power cell? Yeah, man. Do you want the hydrogen one? Yeah, I need the hydrogen one. It's everything becomes normal. And this is where magic, this is why Heka is so beautiful, because no matter where you are in technology, no matter where the fuck you stand, there's magic. What is magic? It's going to be what everyone else doesn't know yet. So it's just a veil. It's a veil of mystery. That's all. That's really at the heart of what Heka is. And so if you think about what the artist is the magician. And why is the artist the magician right now? Because right now, luckily, there's a lot of the world that's just engagers. But it's changing. All the definitions are changing. I don't know if we're going to be able to call being an artist. It's going to be something very different, I think. I can't even predict it.
It's for me, it's something that I've been kind of wrestling with and relating to through a little bit through the lens of human design in the last year or so, because of its emphasis on this idea of the real sort of in the detail, the fundamental uniqueness of every individual.
Yes.
That we are all specifically designed in detail in an entirely different way from everybody else. And for me, kind of having a kind of a 6 line and a 2, so the hermit and the role model and the individual aspect of the incarnation cross, which is going, well, you're not going to be able to kind of be an engager really, because your whole thing is like, you've got to be a freak. And if you're not being a freak, and if you're not being kind of regarded as a freak by anybody, then you're not actually kind of bringing your authenticity to the fore at all. So you kind of got to go out there and not pay any fucking attention to what anybody else is doing, and really lock into that sort of creator, you know, vibe, which it doesn't really matter who else is around. In fact, it's kind of better if nobody is, because the magic ain't going to happen while other people are around. If somebody's watching, like a sculpture and stuff, somebody else is watching, I'm like, can you fuck off? Can you really like go away? Come back and look later.
Imagine watching Superman.
Right now.
Yeah, imagine watching Superman change clothes. Look like he's Clark Kent, and you're watching him, and you're waiting to see when he actually becomes Superman. And I think all of us as artists work that way. This is why the creator, I told you it's antisocial. It's antisocial because you're inside that tesseract, right? You're inside the creative tesseract that you made. That's why I wanted today's show to be, guys, this is not another, oh my God, I've got to fucking fear the tesseract now. So you got the prison plan, you got to worry about that. Then you got to worry about the globalists. Now we got to worry about a tesseract too. And I'm just like, no, I'm trying to tell you that this is a creative instrument you have. You know, you do this, you do it anyway. I'm just telling you what you already do. I'm just saying, what if you started like focusing on it, going, wait a minute, I could tesseract the shit out of this thing. And you start to shut off that other noise. Quietness is the first canvas of the artist. And only some of us want it to be quiet. Think about how being an engager and you're constantly wanting the numbers. Think about how what a miracle it is for you suddenly to want it to be quiet if that's who you are. That's probably going to take a trauma, honestly. Probably going to take like something shitty happen, you know? And if it happens right, they may emerge as an artist. I emerged because I said, I can't believe in the validity of the world because of things happen to me personally. I was like, oh, look at that. I can't believe in the world anymore. Fuck. I guess I'm not an engager anymore. And I started writing. So, you know, these are important processes. And right now the flux is in. The flux is in, I'm telling you. The flux is in. And I'm really glad that Alex shared too.
Yeah.
About this. So fitting. So many ways.
Yeah, we have about 2 minutes left. I know Isaiah had his hand up. You can get what you need to say in 2 minutes. We can end the dojo with you.
Oh, okay. I guess I wanted to add something on to what James was discussing with the schizophrenic, concept. I guess May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Happy May, everybody. I guess I find it interesting. I guess I'll just speak to my personal experience. I don't want to paint anybody else's experience with a brush. But what I've experienced a lot of times in the mental health field is the end goal is always, can you be functional in society? It's not, you know, there may be a thing that's focused on, you know, are you feeling good? But it's not really, you know, I don't know that the goal is that we want to feel amazing all the time or whatever that even means. But I've just always heard from multiple different mental health professionals that the objective is for you to function in society. And I guess the question is, what does that even really mean? So that's really what I had. Thanks.
This is
that would be a good one. We have like 1 minute left, James. It would be a really great one to have a topic on, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that at the heart of how we define society comes back to what kind of boat can we tether everyone's mental hallucination together into? And one of the things that gives us the ability to produce a warm-blooded sort of psychology, I think, is our ability to shore reality up with each other. And so we end up, and I want you to imagine that if you were to align, if you found 4 other people and those 4 people were crazy and they believed in the big Thunderbird, you would start to see the Thunderbird too, because it would serve you, because you would start to feel solidity inside of your hallucination. And that solidity, I think, is not necessarily something that's built into your psyche. This isn't something that you may just necessarily have on your own. I think that you only have it because you're collectively able to build a psyche with other people the same way a cat can feel comfortable on 5 sides of a 6-sided box. And that saving all those calories allows you to congeal. But here's the rub. You're not congealing into the truth. You're congealing into whatever the crazy fucks were thinking, that you're a crazy fuck and you're a bunch of other crazy fucks. And you guys are like, let's shore each other up and let's make a crazy fuck island. And you're like, let's do it. And then on crazy fuck island, you congeal, it petrifies, and it becomes reality, you know? So yeah, I know we're out of time, and we can close the dojo down. We're on Dojo or streaming, and I'm going to play this jazz song, this jazz version, because I think it's cute. So, but Isaiah, keep bringing this stuff. This is great. And topics for next week. I know we're over, Lori, but I'm glad you brought that up too. This is a great time to prime for like next week. You know, tell people. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's great. I just wanted to say, put some topics into the chat. Like, I think it would be great, and then James will get to pick, and we can, maybe we can get that going early, and then we can, like start to percolate our...
Percolate? That's even better.
Percolating. So everyone's unmute and say goodbye. Where's Green Dojo? Thanks.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Artemis.
Love you guys.
Artemis. Oh my goodness. Amazing. All right. That was a good ride. That was a great time. I think you're still alive. I think we are. And, yeah, guys, you're listening to Dojo Worth. What do you see right now on the screen? You see that. And I'm going to play you a song or two. It's going to be totally up to you guys. We'll see how many of you are still here. Don't feel pressure to stay. But I did prepare a song thinking that you might enjoy this tonight because of all the music. Sorry, I'm really having trouble finding this thing. Oh yeah, it's not like I have like 3 different channels. Go here. Ooh, this is taking a while. I'm gonna go here. That was a great. This Monday Night Ride is our first one, if you're wondering, and it's basically Dojo, but maybe a little bit different. And then we're gonna play a little bit of music, but this one's hidden, so it takes me a while to find it. There it is. Man, that took a while. Ugh. All right, let me see if this thing will come up over here, right? You're listening to Dojo Worth Radio. And I want you to see this guy. This guy's adorable. He's just like, look at me. I'm going to sing you guys a song about the prison planet. All right, that took, what, like 10 minutes to get that up? But here we go. Let's take it away, buddy.
It's a digital prison of our making. That's what it is. Prison planet, be afraid. Everything's coming to get you. It's coming to get you. Look here, then here, then here, see? I told you. It's coming to get you. You? Digital prison? We're building it with ourselves. We're doing it all. It's all us. We're doing it right now. We're so unnatural. Everything about us is unnatural. Nothing natural about humans and what they do. Nothing at all. We're unnatural. You're living in a Tesseract Jack digital prison. Every eye's watching you, witnesses watching you, evil eye watching you, evil eye sees what you're doing. Look here, then here, see? I'm telling you. Be afraid. Prison planet. This area monitor. This area monitor. everyone sees what you're doing, you better act right. They are the real them and we are the only us. Digital prison, digital prison, prison planet. Be afraid. Prison planet. Don't let them contage your DNA. Pick up a bottle of Vitality Shield at the counter right now. It's the only way to stay pure in the prison planet. Everything is manufactured, fake, it's all fake, nothing is real. You're living inside the Tesseract Jack. Digital prison, planet, digital prison, digital prison. Why aren't you more afraid? You're asleep if you're not afraid. Digital prison of our making. You're doing it right now. They're coming for you. Digital prison. Don't be afraid. Be very afraid. Raw. We're so unnatural. Tesseract Jack. Raw. There's nothing. Be afraid. We're unnatural. You gotta recruit. You gotta contage. Spread the fear. Spread it. You be afraid. You and you and you and you and you. Be more afraid. You gotta recruit. You gotta recruit, you gotta contage. Digital prison, everything is fake. Digital prison, prison planet. You and you and you. Digital prison.
Yeah, that was Goblin Natra. Appreciate him coming out tonight for a special lounge act. Always good to see him, you know. He's gone through a lot of changes lately, and I'm glad he's turned his life around. Got this on my mind today. On. So I think people think that City of On, but it's City of Un. The City of Heliopolis. It's off the new album Kabbalah. We have the creator of Kabbalah in the studio with us today. One of the musicians. Stephen, would you like to talk about that process? Yeah, sure. I'll talk about it. We flew into Cairo last fall. Me and the gang set up recording. We had access to the King's Chamber there, and we had to bring a generator, a little battery thing, and we looked it up there, and we recorded the whole album, mostly in the King's Chamber, although there's a few special tracks that were shot in the Queen's Chamber that were recorded there due to resonance concerns. And it was a good clean shot. And problem is, all of those recordings were confiscated at the airport. All of our film equipment, all of our cameras. It's a bloody mess there. You I'm not gonna do this voice anymore, but there's this thing about Egypt. You think it's right there. You think it's like right there, and then you and you think in your mind, I want to go to Egypt because I want to go there. And so in order to access ancient Egypt, you think that you need to go there. I've thought this my whole life. I've thought I have to go there. And if I go there, then I'll experience the real thing. And when you go there, you notice that it is the real thing. And I'm not making that up. If you try and bring anything in that looks like it's semi-professional at all, they're going to take it. They're gonna want to bribe the shit out of you. And even if you bribe them, there's no guarantee that the next guy's not going to bribe you. There's none of that. None of that exists. Access to things like the King's Chamber is. We see this on the Discovery Channel. We think it's just like done, and it's not. It's always been that way. And it's always been a testament to how powerful the pyramid is. And I want you to think about it as this was one of the most manipulative pieces of real estate. It still is. Still is. Leads to a certain kind of energy, a certain kind of economy builds around it. And that economy ends up shaping the very products that are selling it, because the shape itself is dictating a very specific expectation that people have when they come there. And that expectation is really what builds the market. It's what defines the reality, It's just, I don't look at modern day Egypt in a romantic way, in the sense of, oh, I really want to go there. I don't do that, but also I don't dismiss it as not important. But I know that when you go to some of those temples, I hate to tell you this, but they've been moved and they've been reconstructed. Some of them have been moved. Their Nile is, although it hasn't shifted much, it has shifted, and things would be underwater. And to save them, they're telling you that they moved the rocks from down here up there. That's what they're telling you they did. They're telling you, well, these are all the same rocks. They're not the same rocks. Those rocks are gone. Those rocks have been gone a long time. A long time. Same thing happened when you started to say, why are they repairing Stonehenge? It's like they're repairing Stonehenge because the rocks have been gone for a long time. And people have a certain expectation when they come to these places. They expect a certain thing. You know that. It's a pyramid. You better expect it. It's a freaking pyramid, right? So, anyway, let's go to the garden.
You better not go down there, anywhere but there, not there, anywhere else. But I tell you, don't you go down there. Why you going down there? Anywhere but there, no, not there. Any place else, like I told you, don't you go down there. You better not eat that fruit. Take any fruit but this, not this, no. This fruit's forbidden. Now I tell you, don't you eat that fruit. You better not listen to that snake. Anyone but him, not him. Don't you do it like I told you. Don't you listen to that snake. You better not come back here. Anywhere else but here, not here. Out of my garden, like I told you. Don't you come back here.
I'm gonna do one more. Maybe more. I don't know. Sorry, I got lost in the song. Honestly, it was a really good song. It was Anywhere But There. The idea of going back and God, this is so hard to do. Going back and thinking about the garden. We've talked about this before, though. Open Skate. Open Skate tonight.
Recording in progress.
Sorry about that. DJ's like an FJ, man. It's like getting an F. See, these Darth guys are freaking killing it. And I'm like, recording started. Recording started. Pew, pew. Yeah, sorry, guys. We have to start paying them now. That's some badass, man. Come on, give it some more. Yeah, I want you to have an old roller rink too without a roof link. And I appreciate you, Kathy. Kathy's like, you know what, I've thought of everything. Not only do I want a roller rink, I don't want it to have a roof link. That is some serious magic crafting. The amount of torque in that magic statement, the fact that you're putting that on there presupposes belief, so it creates a vortex, right? Where you're automatically, because now the Heka, right? Heka, here's that. Here's you command, so mode B, I want a roller rink without a leaky roof. Now Heka's like, you know, she's up there sweeping, you know, and all of a sudden she hears, I want a roller rink, and she's like, yeah, who doesn't fucking want a roller rink? And then you throw in without a leaky roof, and then she's like, okay, I'm putting my broom down. She puts her broom down. Kathy, she puts her broom down for that. She walks to the door. She's like, who the fuck said that? She looks down at Kathy. She's like, look at you. Look at you. What color are you, little bird? The fuck you just say to me? You want a roller rink without a leaky roof. That is something. That is some thick magic. You guys know that. That is some good stuff. Well done. Well done. This is a serious crowd, you know. So I'm just thinking out loud, but I think that like Monday Night Ride would work even better if it was like sort of stretched out, and so maybe like the green room would be open for like 3 hours maybe, I'm not even know if I can do a 3, but I probably could. And I could do that assuming that Lori's like on board with this, or Renee or Cameron or anyone else, whoever's co-hosting. It's you definitely need that, right? But then you could sort of let things simmer. It's like tonight, Alex had at least three. Like, I'm just talking about his first topic. Had like 3 really fucking good deep topics. The presence of the creator, finding that, isn't that interesting? The presence of the creator, that has like so many connotations, doesn't it? But like finding that that value of being alone, of like entering into that creative state, I should say. It's not really like being alone, right? But it's being apersonal. Like that, the idea of immersing yourself into music, all these things are the flux that we're talking about, and flux is a good time to try different things. And this could be something that we try where then, it'd be up to the co-host, like you'd sort of would nudge, hey, why don't we do a song? And then you'd sort of look at me and I'd have this like magical sort of like, oh yeah, I know what you're thinking about a song. That's what you're thinking about, And it would, it'd work like that. That's what would happen. So, hey, let's do officially, this is probably what you call an oldie here. This is probably what you call an oldie. But let's do it. And what's in the comments? You tell me what you think, if you got ideas about that. Monday Night Ride, guys. It's a good time to like find your spine,
Who shut the door? Who would knock? Who made this road? Who tied this knot? Who placed the call? Who never showed? Who told the line? Who felt the load? Is it too late to start all over? 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 Who set the sail? Who walked the plank? Who stops the flow? Who's pulling rank? Who digs the groove? Who drives the stake? Who sees the hook? Who takes the bait? Is it too late to start all over? 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 Is it too late to start all over?
All right. Hey, let's
Anagigulaga.
call it a night on this one, okay? Appreciate you.
Firefly, firefly, bring me light. Light my way home, dark is the night. Your tiny ember glows so bright. Firefly, firefly, give me light. Dalugi Anakigulaga. Firefly, firefly, bring me light. Light my way home, dark is the night. Your tiny ember glows so bright. Utsistalugi Anagigulaga. Firefly, firefly, bring me light. Light my way home, dark is the night. Your tiny ember glows so bright.
That ends tonight's broadcast. We'd like to thank everyone for coming out. Would appreciate you if you pick up everything under the seats. You might find sometimes the popcorn sticky. We don't want anybody to get your shoe stuck to the bottom of the thing. So just remember that and have a great